Sixth grade, welcome to starting chapter 4 in science class. We just got done in chapter 3 talking about genetics and reproduction, and so we worked all those fun Punnett squares to figure out if we could figure out blue eyes or brown eyes, things like that. Today, this chapter we're going to study the human body. We're going to learn God's awesome creation and everything that we are made up of. So as we talk about the body systems that are out there. As they introduce each chapter, guys, they always talk about a person. Interesting thing about this guy is he came out at the University of Wisconsin before he started to work for NASA. So feel free to read those stories as we get into that stuff. As you cruise along here, guys, we're going to see some of the pictures that we're going to be talking about. Nerve cell that we will study, pathogens and our antibodies that fight off diseases, the inside of your lungs, and how we get the oxygen that we need, all the vocabulary with it. Okay, the experiment for this chapter is looking at cheek cells and blood cells underneath a microscope. That's super cool, except we don't have microscopes to give to all of you, so we're out of luck. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take on your skill, which is cause and effect. We look at cause and effect a lot of times in reading class as the skill there, but we also look at cause and effect a lot of times in history class. What happened and what was the result of what happened as we go through that. Today we're going to get a lot of that in science class because of this chapter. We're going to see the different things that are happening inside our body, and what they're doing, and then what the effect is of the different functions that our body is going through. Okay, it says in science you can often observe and read about events that happen. So you often observe, good. Understanding what causes these events is important. A cause is the reason something happens. What happens is the effect. We're going to read the article below to see how causes result in effects. So we need to understand the reasoning behind things. So you think about that in history, guys. I want to know what caused World War I so that I hopefully don't let World War II happen. So we're constantly looking at what's happening and saying, can we avoid the negatives in the future and can we make the positives? Figure it out. So we look for clue words that signal cause and effect relationship. Clue words would be result, cause, the next blank, because, so, since, and thus. The effect of one event can many times be the cause of another event. In other words, it's not always just cause and effect and done. Sometimes it's cause, the effect is the cause of the next one, which is the cause of the next one. So for example, your team is playing my team in dodgeball. I threw a ball at you. I caused you to get out. That effect is you got out. Instantly your teammates aimed for me so that I would get out because they were angry that I got them out. And then they got me out. That is effective. Now I'm out. But the next cause is so my teammates, and so it kind of goes back and forth on sometimes one event trickles down to a whole system of steps. You're going to see that as we work through our example here. So number 6 is going to be in our little paragraph. It says the cells that make up the muscles have an important characteristics. Muscle cells can contract. Okay? When a group of cells make a muscle contract, they cause the muscle to become shorter and thicker. So number 1, muscle cells contract. What does that do? That causes them to become shorter and thicker. When that happens, the muscles pull the bone that is attached to it. So this causes another thing. It causes the muscles to pull the bone that is attached to it. That cause results in the movement of the bone. So the pull results in the movement of the bone. So we had cause, effect, but that effect was also the next cause, which was also an effect, which was the next cause. So guys, when you flex your arm muscles, you can feel your arm muscles thicken and shorten. That lifts your arm. So when I asked you flex your arm muscle, what'd you do? You curled your elbow up, didn't it? Because that's what your muscles are doing. Your muscle is attached right by your elbow there, and when you flex your arm muscle, it pulls it up because it's a shorter distance now. That's how it works. Okay, now the goal is for you to practice that. So as we move over here, guys, I'm going to show you what causes breathing. Your job is to do just like this. They had cause, then it led to another cause and effect, and another cause and effect. That's where we had it with muscles. A cause to an effect, a cause to an effect, a cause to the final effect. You're doing the same thing here. So lungs take in and release air by expanding and contracting. That is, like muscles, they grow larger and smaller. yet the lungs themselves contain no muscle. The diaphragm is a sheet of muscle that lies beneath the lungs. So how do I breathe? The diaphragm contracts. If I was a sixth grader, I'd probably put that down right here. The diaphragm contracts. What's the cause? It pulls the ribs up and out. This motion enlarges the chest cavity where the lungs lie. This causes air to rush into the lungs. So guys, you have a diaphragm. It's a sheet of muscles that is sitting underneath your lungs. And what happens is it contracts. That literally pulls on your ribs. It makes your ribs bigger. And then that's going to suck air into your lungs. Okay? Then when you relax that muscle, it causes your chest ribs to collapse. That pushes the air out of your lungs. And so your ribs are moving because of the diaphragm muscle underneath your body. Okay, so you can see we had the first few sentences that weren't cause and effect, guys. That was just information. It started right here. Cause 1, cause 2, cause 3, and final effect. Make sure you have those written down there. Awesome. Have a great day.